You would think in this day and age, everybody would be moving towards the likes of being professional and agreeing to disagree, which is perfectly fine. However, in the eyes of Pedro Pascal, apparently that memo is not reaching him. In fact, it barely seems to be reaching the mind of Hollywood nowadays anyway. So, yes, he's been in the news the last few days, and I haven't covered it because I took a little break from YouTube. So let's chat about it now. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, switch on the notification bells so that you know I am releasing another video. I cannot run this channel without you. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed already. I release Doctor Who posts every Sunday, and then I cover woke news during the week and release content and polls and posts and things like that. So, Pedro Pascal has been in the news because he branded J.K. Rowling, and get this, a heinous loser. And this all comes after the Supreme Court clarifying what the definition of a woman is, because apparently we needed to know. I have an article here from the Metro. Let's take a look at it and see what it has to say. Pedro Pascal blasts heinous loser J.K. Rowling after his powerful statement for the trans community. Pedro Pascal has slammed J.K. Rowling, calling her a heinous loser after she celebrated the UK's Supreme Court ruling that trans women are not legally women. Last week, the UK's highest court confirmed the terms woman and sex in the 2010 Equality Act refer to a biological woman and biological sex. This now means that transgender women with a gender recognition certificate can be excluded from single-sex spaces, including toilets and change rooms, if proportionate. The decision has sparked mass protests both around the country and abroad, with celebrities such as Nicola Coughlan, who I covered last week, speaking out on the horrifying ruling. Soon after, author J.K. Rowling shared a photo on social media aboard a super yacht celebrating the decision while smoking a cigar. We've seen that famous photo, very A-team. I love it when a plan comes together. Hashtag Supreme Court, hashtag women rights, she wrote. In response, activist and writer Tariq Rove, I think I've said that correctly, went on to call for a boycott of any future Harry Potter projects. Now, we will get to what he says in a moment, but he posted a video on Instagram, and let's take a look.
This is some serious Voldemort villain right here. J.K. Rowling is reveling in the fact that she helped the UK Supreme Court get to the point where they can define that trans women are not women legally, right? Like, she's just so proud of all the work that she's been doing over the last few years to stoke hatred and fear into the general public about a very small minority population that's already some of the most, misunderstood people.
Stoking hate and fear, you would have to find a post that generates that, because all I've seen is defense.
On the earth. She's so happy about it. She's so happy about it. She's so cocky about getting the same royalties about whether or not you burn or read a Harry Potter book. So I think it has become our mission as the general public to make sure that every single thing that's Harry Potter related fails. That means posting in every single Harry Potter TV show update that comes out, in every single article, posting in the comments that trans rights are human rights, that trans women are women. It means not buying a ticket to Universal to go and see Harry Potter World. Like, if we could boycott Starbucks and McDonald's to the point where they saw massive dips in their sales and had to literally close a ton of stores because the general public just wasn't supporting them anymore, then I sure as hell think that the general public could just make sure that Harry Potter is no longer profitable for anyone that dares to do business with J.K. Rowling. Because that awful, disgusting that has consequences.
Well, good luck with that. So my thoughts about the video, and that is calling for a boycott. Oh, I don't approve of that. Overall, I hate any kind of boycott. I don't think they're necessary. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate behavior. It happens on the left and it happens on the right. And at the end of the day, boycotts don't necessarily achieve anything. However, Tariq is entitled to his own opinion, and I have also found the original comment from Pedro Pascal as well. So this was in response to Tariq's Instagram video. Tariq says, "Don't watch the show," talking about the HBO Max Harry Potter TV series that they're releasing. "Don't go to Universal. Don't buy a single Harry Potter thing ever. It's time to tell these corporations that T-phobia loses money." That's what he said. Okay, and that is debatable. However, let's see what Pedro Pascal had to say. "Awful, discussing, SH1T is exactly right. Heinous loser behaviour." Now, I quite often say that when you start calling someone names to this extent, this is when you've lost the argument. And the Supreme Court clarification made a lot of people lose their argument. Simple. And it's made a lot of people happy. And this is not just here, it's also across the pond, but not just happiness, it's also made a lot of people angry as well. Now, Pedro is perfectly entitled to his own opinion, and he is entitled, if he wants to say that about J.K. Rowling. It's up to him. The thing is, though, Pedro Pascal is starring in the HBO series The Last of Us. This post is calling for a boycott on the HBO Harry Potter TV series. Do you see what I'm getting at? By default, commenting on this post and saying this about J.K. Rowling adds to that potential boycott. Surely that would be a conflict of interest in his HBO contract. A lot of people have been questioning whether or not he should be fired from The Last of Us, or the HBO production company, for his remarks about J.K. Rowling, who is also connected to HBO, and the fact that it is posted on a boycott post for the HBO Harry Potter series and other Harry Potter related content. And this is where my issue lies. Had Pedro said this as a separate thing, then I don't think, no matter what I think personally about J.K. Rowling, that he should technically be fired, not unless it was going to directly affect their business. However, this is tied to the post that's attacking the series and the production company and J.K. Rowling, who is connected to that. And if you remember, Gina Carano got fired for much less than this, and this was all in response to Pedro Pascal as well. It would make you wonder if Pedro would suffer from the Ziegler effect. I'm officially coining that term, the Ziegler effect. This also just further proves, if he does not get dismissed from this, and I'm not calling for his dismissal because Pedro has the right to work just like anybody else so long as it's legal, that is only one view that is acceptable in Hollywood. I think it's about time that Hollywood moved past the one right view and allowed people the differences of opinion. So long as they don't obviously connect anything to a promotional thing, I think that should be allowed. HBO already stated that J.K. Rowling was perfectly entitled to her views, but she hasn't tied any of this to the HBO series itself. I know people will say that Pedro has skin in the game because he has a trans sister and she's called Lux, but it doesn't mean that you have the right to go around calling people names just because you believe they're wrong when J.K. Rowling was proved right by law. Let me know what you think about it. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, switch on the notification bells so that you know I am releasing another video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Bye bye.